Tell me about making it.
It's so fun.
Was it?
It was so fun. I mean, Seth creates a really easygoing atmosphere. He's so chill. Even when he's stressed, he doesn't like really let it permeate the rest of the set. It's great. It's fun. It's comedy. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard, you know. So it can be, but yeah, we had fun.
When did you first talk to Seth about being part of TED 2? Because you guys worked together before, obviously.
I joked, since we did A Million Ways, I joked to him about being a part of it, like, how are you going to write me in? You're going to want me to be... And it was always a joke, and then one day he was like, what are you doing in June? And I was like, oh, well, just to do this other movie, blah, blah, blah. And then it got closer to June, and he was like, so, what do you... Oh, no, it's... Not June. It was just in January, and then a couple months later, he's like, "So yeah, do you want to do this?" And then I was like, "Oh, you're serious? Well, it'd be weird to jump into a franchise because there's already a fan base, but and there's no script, and so I don't know what I'm doing. I would just be like signing on blindly."
You'd seen the first one at time of release, maybe?
Yeah.
And?
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good. There were some funny moments.
And with this one, tell us about who you play. The wonderfully named
Samantha Jackson.
The wonderfully
I
named.
chose Samantha.
Did you?
And then he ran with it, and he was like, Samuel Jackson, and that's how I feel about that scene. No, yeah, I don't know. I was just like, can I choose my name? He's like, yeah, sure. I'm like, can I be Samantha? At that point, I already knew I was going to be a lawyer, a stoner lawyer.
Right. A stoner lawyer.
A stoner lawyer.
That's not a phrase you hear a lot of, is it?
I know. Well, you don't hear that a lot, but I'm sure there are a lot of them. But I just trusted him, and he made a good case out of this whole thing.
Cool. And how does she get involved in the story? What's her role in it, as it were?
Well, Ted wants to be a father, and he doesn't have any rights. He's not seen as a human being, and so he fights the system, and he finds my character. The law firm that they go to won't put up the money they don't have any money, and they're not going to take it seriously, and so they send them to this junior lawyer who just is out of law school, and she's like, all right, I do it for free. And she's hardworking and wonderful, and believes in justice, and so it's perfect. They're a great team.
So that underneath some of this outrageous comedy, there is kind of a message there.
There's a backbone to this whole story.
There is, isn't there? It's about acceptance, I guess.
Right, and also just like the fact that it's so relevant to so many things right now. Like, we're constantly fighting for rights. Gay rights, just women's rights, animal rights. Everything's imbalanced. It's 2015, and we're still struggling with that. And it'll take some time, but it's just I like that it's relevant. I like that it has a good parallel. Seth's heart's in the right place.
When you finally did read that script, were there any scenes where you thought, "Oh my God"?
Yeah, like the Cookie Crisp scene. I was like, really? Really? I think I've tried to fight that scene up until after we shot it. It's like, do we really need? But it's stupid. I mean, it's not my movie. It's not my movie at all. They know what's funny to their fans, and I'm not gonna think everything's funny, but I certainly I'm not offended by much, but there's just certain things I'm just like, really? But that's just, I'm...
But that's, I guess, comedy's job sometimes, to push the boundaries.
Yeah, and to divide people, and it does, but at least you know how you feel about stuff. It's hopefully really funny.
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay, I really hope so, man.
Tell me about on set. You've mentioned that, Seth is director, but he is also Ted. So what do you, when you're doing a scene and Ted is there, what have you got to kind of work with, as it were?
What I know of Ted, like how he talks. Like, I've seen Ted 5-6 times.
Yeah.
it was on in Boston all the time throughout the filming of this Ted 2, so it was kind of great. I just have to remember to keep my eyes in the spot where Ted is supposed to be sitting.
Is there anything there in the
Sometimes there's a stick and 2 eyes. Sometimes there's nothing. Sometimes there's a stuffy. We do a stuffy pass, and it's the bear.
Stuffy, as in like
a stuffed animal.
Okay.
But it has like it's a puppeteer works on it. This guy.
Oh, wow.
Blair, genius Blair, who's literally responsible for Ted. Yeah, he's amazing, and he brings the puppet in and moves the head, and like, but only at the end of every take, every shot. I mean. And so for the most part, it's usually nothing. And I'll hear Seth talking from behind and somewhere over here. And the first week or two, I was just like, I can't concentrate because you're talking over there, but Ted's right there, and I'm trying to like react to you and relate to you, and it's hard. But Mark is a pro at it, obviously. So I learned quickly. It was fine. It ended up being fine. It's weird.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Good to see you, my dear.
Good to see you too.